Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Monday, so we are going to do a Monday view of the pencils of the week, which are the Hundertwasser colored pencils. These are a 72 set from Germany. I did order these off of Amazon Germany and got them quite quickly. Not last year, the year before. So they are a very nice set of pencils that goes from the yellows into our peach tones, our orange, our red, our pink, our purple, into our blues. Has a really good selection of blues as well as some green blues, into our greens, into our browns, including a couple of really good red browns as well, and then into our grays and black. They come in this wonderful, wonderful case. I love this case. This case is fantastic. It's a very velvety feeling case. Almost feels like suede. It's a beautiful feeling case. It is enclosed with a magnet on the top. I'm just going to tip this. There we go. Let's try not to knock things over. Almost did. Trying not to knock over my coffee or my other monitor. Alright, so each pencil has its little slot in the holders. The holders are a very thick foam holder, so the pencils in shipping don't get damaged whatsoever. They come in a box in a sleeve wrapped in plastic and in this wonderful box itself. So we've got our pencils here. They're a slender pencil. They do have color numbers on them. However, they don't have color names. They do have the Hundertwasser name here, as well as I do believe it says colored perfection, but I'm not perfect on that. It has the Hundertwasser label, and then the color name and a color dip. So it does give you a dip so that you can see what color you're going to be grabbing. And they're pretty close to their color dip. Well, not really. The bottom of it's really close because this one would say this one. But it's not. It's actually lighter. So there's our yellows, our peach tones, our oranges, into the reds, and the start of the pinks. It also comes with these two lovely drawing pencils. This one here is, it doesn't say. One of them, I think it's this one, because I used it. No, it doesn't say either. Could have swore it said whether or not it was a. I don't know. So it is an AM product, and that's what these logos here say. But it does come with two sketch pencils, as well as a pencil sharpener. I have not used the pencil sharpener. I also have not used the pencils themselves. However, the erasers on these pencils erase these pencils very nicely. I had to erase a lot because I made a mistake. Then we, of course, have the next layer, which is a lovely layer of purples and blues, the start of the greens. And then, of course, this layer is our greens into our browns, our grays, and our black. Now, under that, and this came on top of the pencils so that they weren't damaged. I put it underneath because I don't use it very often. It comes with a 50-page sketchbook of drawing paper. Now this paper is actually really good. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It'll go through the printer very nicely, and it's a creamy color, so it's not a stark white, so the white will show up really nicely on it. So it does come with this, and this says that it's 81 pound, 120 GM. So it's a 9 by 12, so it's a little bit bigger than your typical printer paper, but you can, of course, cut it down to fit, or you can just print on 9 by 12 size. All right, I'm going to put the pencils back in here, and we're going to grab Art Matters because, of course, it is Monday. Well, let's do some testing first. Let's do this smart. Hold on. So I'm going to grab Sky Blue. Actually, no, I'm going to grab Cerulean Blue, which is number 55. And if you put all your pencils away the right way, it's really easy to find them. But even if you don't, you can just turn them, and it's very simple to turn them to get the numbers for your area that you need. All right, let's get that in there. All right, they're all put back to bed. So I'm going to grab number 10, which is yellow, which is this one. Now, the AM company put out a swatch chart in numeric order for the Hundertwasser pencils in English, and that is where I have gotten the names from. And this one, I just need, let's see, yeah, scarlet red will work. Okay, so I'm going to take the box and I'm going to put it aside. We'll do our testing on the back side of the swatch chart. And I did make a new swatch chart, and I have added a different logo. So if you download this swatch chart, it does not have the same logo as my other swatch charts. I am going to be starting to transfer the swatch charts to that new logo. Just because, you know, it's a nice logo and I like it. Because I want to. That's why. Quite frankly, that's just exactly what it is. It's because I want to. Alright, so let's make some circles here. You get to see the process of me figuring out because normally I get this all done beforehand. I do not this time. So we're going to put some circles down for the water test. Now I am using a ballpoint pen or a ink pen so that if it isn't water resistance, it's not going to pick up the pen. So I'm just doing a small smudge section here. I put the smaller circle, so it's fine as long as it has enough room to put down some color. This is water and this is smudge. And of course we are going to be coloring with these again this evening on our Monday night live. We did start with them on Saturday, so they are coloring quite nicely. I really, really enjoy them. I think they are a very nice pencil, especially for their cost. They weren't very expensive. And like I said, I ordered them off of the German Amazon. And I don't remember, but I don't think I paid shipping on them. I think I just did the small thing for, let's actually take a look. Let us see, let us see. So, Amazon. Couldn't remember which one it was. Accept cookies. Sign in. Oh, now it's going to give me something to do. Oh, crud. That was it. Because I put that in the wrong place. And this fun. Oh, now it's got to be. The verification process of different websites sometimes can be very interesting. I haven't logged into the Amazon Germany website in a while. So now it's asking me to redo my passwords, which is silly. And of course, because my keyboard sometimes doesn't like to work. Ay, ay, ay. And I'm hoping that this is just for this one. I will find out when I move over to the other one, won't I? All right. We got in. And it keeps on asking me for my password, everything I touch. So I was trying to get into my... Okay, let's see. All right. And of course, they are currently unavailable on the Amazon Germany website. So, unfortunately, they're no longer available. So they don't give me a price. Well, that's silly. So unfortunately, they are no longer available, so I can't even link them for you or give you a price range that they were in. I do believe that I paid 87 German dollars for them. I can't remember what that translated to for US dollars. So yeah, sorry guys, that's not going to work for me. All right, so we've got our water, our smudge, our 3-color, our rainbow. our blender and our white. All right, I'm going to zoom you in, so get ready for the ride. And I've got smuts all over my page. Don't mind me. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so we're going to start off with our yellow. Actually, let's start with our red. I'm going to sharpen it. Give it a quick sharpen. So this one here is number 38. And like I said, they are a thinner pencil. The lead is about a 3.8, I do believe. But the pencil itself, it just barely goes around. It just goes around the lead. It's not very thick at all. Oh. And I should not have sharpened that with a hand sharpener because I felt it crack when I was sharpening it. Now, if I had time, I could just put that lead back on, but I don't, so it's fine. I just sharpen it, it's fine. And I should have bought more than one set, but I only bought one set because, I didn't want to buy more than one set and not like them. But now that I know that they're not available, that's kind of annoying. I will have to look up and see if there's another company that I can purchase them from, or if I can purchase them directly from the AM website themselves. Because they are on I do believe they are on there, but I think the link goes directly to Amazon, so I don't know. I will have to do some research on it. I was under the the assumption that it was still available on Amazon. I know, never assume. But as you can see, they cover very, very nicely. I do believe they are a wax-based pencil. I could be wrong. Like I said, I have not. Well, let's take a look at the information, because the information's still on the Amazon Germany. So let's just take a look at the information. So it says of course it says it all in German. Even though I have it switched to English. Yeah, I have it switched to English and it's still all in German. So the information part, the core itself is a 3.8 millimeter core. But unfortunately, I don't read enough German to be able to tell you what the mixture is. Yeah. It all looks German to me, people. Always. So it is a 3.8 millimeter core, and that's about what the pencils feel is about a 4 millimeter. So they're not very thick at all. Two pencils, sketch pencils. Yeah. Unfortunately, tells me more about the box than the composition of the pencils. It just says a 3.8 millimeter lead in English. Color rich abrasion and brilliant results. But that's it. So I've wasted your time a little bit longer. So unfortunately, I can tell you very little about these pencils. If you do speak German or read German, you can go to the Amazon.de website and look up Hundertwasser and see what they say about the composition of the pencils. All right, so I'm just filling in our smudge lines here. Both of these tests are very personal tests to me because I use a lot of water extras, I guess. So I use watercolor sometimes for the background. I use sparkle paint for embellishments. I use stickles or gel pen on top of my pencil. And all of those things are water-based. So with water-based products on top of your pencil, they can move your pencil if you're not careful, if your pencil is not water resistant. Very few pencils I have, and I have a lot of pencils, but very few of them are waterproof. However, there are quite a few of them that are water resistant. And that's all I'm checking for is the resistancy to see how much they're going to move, both with the water and with my hand. The reason I do the smudge test is, like I said, I need to judge whether or not the pencil is going to move with my hand. I have a chemical composition that enjoys moving pencils. Pencils, seem to run from it. So I do the test so that I can make sure that I am not going to mess up my coloring with my hand. So there is our test areas. Now we're going to grab our water brush if I can remember where I put it. There it is. And make sure that it's not too wet, but still wet. And it does move a little bit. Oh, there we go. So if the yellow moves like that, the red's got to move better. Now, typically I wouldn't scrub it like this, but I wanted to show you that they do move. So they definitely are not water resistant. Be careful putting water products over top of your Hundertwasser pencils. And typically, if they're not water resistant, they're not smudge resistant either. So they definitely do move with smudging. As you can see if I can get it to show you. As you can see there. I don't know why it doesn't pick it up that way. It's weird. Maybe that way. There you go. All right, so we're going to take some of our pinks and we're going to do our center area. So I'm going to use this one, and this one. So we've got 3 different colors of pink. dark. Let's see. Pretty sure it's dark medium. So well, that's not even pink, so we're not going to use that one. That's more purple. That is more purple. So the one I want is this one. So we've got a, let's see. So we've got a red pink, a warm pink, and light pink. So yeah, that should work. Just looking to see if I have the right colors to do a proper blend. So we're going to start off with the red. And I could push really hard on this and fill in the space. Like I said, these are a really nice pencil and I don't want to use them all up. So I usually like to, and now that I know that they are unavailable, I like to build them up a little. And because they are a wax pencil, you can definitely build them up a little bit quicker by putting a little more pressure on them. Like so. Now, because I am going to be building the color up, I want to put a tail here for that next color to build into. So I'm not pressing very hard here and just putting out that little bit of color for the next color to grab into. So the next color is number 37. And basically what we're doing is we're blending a couple of different colors together to create one color and then moving that color out further and joining them all together with a 3-color blend. So just putting in the tail, making sure I've got my dark area set up here. And then number 6. And we could have even gone a little bit lighter than number 6, I think. And there we have it. Just going to fill in the white spot. Oh, that's the wrong one. Fill in the white spot on the edge between the colors. With that medium color because that's where I didn't put enough pressure. And then our dark color, just to get it all even. And this is the great thing about layering, is you can put down the first layer and then adjust it. If you put down too much color or heavy-handed all at once, you're not going to be able to adjust that layer as easily if you put down a thinner layer, leaving some of that tooth. You know what I mean? There we go. So it does do a gradient quite nicely. Now we're going to see about doing the 3-color blend, which is the rainbow blend. So we're going to start off with red, which is number 38. Again, building that color up. On the edge here, this side here is going to be what the yellow blends into. And we're going to have a red-orange. Alright, and then yellow, and I'm going to start back here for the blue to blend into it, just so I don't end up with red in my blue. Well, in my green. Okay, going into the red now, pressing a little bit harder and blending those colors together. And taking our red and coming into our yellow. Now, of course, the more yellow you put down, the oranger the color is going to be. Now, if you put the yellow down before the red, like I did here, you're going to get more of a yellow-orange. You put down the red first, which I did here, you're going to get more of a red-orange. Now we're going to go back in with the yellow, and we're going to go the opposite way, just to get it to blend nicer. So definitely have an orange-red color. Now for our blue, they're not blending as well as I would like them to with the red and the yellow. So let's see how well they do with the blue. Now, of course, the darker the blue, the darker the green you're going to get. So if you have a really dark blue that you're using for this, you are going to get a very dark green. The lighter the blue, the lighter the green. If you start off with a yellow, you're going to get a yellow-green. If you start off with the blue, you're going to get a blue-green. So it does the yellow to blue very nicely. Creates green very nicely. It's not as good with the orange to red, but the green it did quite nice. Alright, so now let's check for a blender. So we've got our Caran d'Ache blender here. So let's take our red tones, our pinks, and let's start with number 3. Now I'm not going to put the tail in for these ones. I am just going to bring the colors right up to each other and stop them right at the edge. I'm hoping with enough pigment down that the blender pencil itself will bring those edges together, creating that blend. Now, the one thing with the blender pencil is you do need to be completed with your coloring at that point, because they're going to burnish your paper for you if you press too hard. And if you don't press hard enough, sometimes it doesn't do anything at all. So make sure you have enough pigment on the paper for the blender to actually pull that pigment into the next pigment without lifting it off and making a mess. Also, make sure that you're using the right blender for the pencils. So do a small test area or do a testing on the back of your page and see which blender works best. I do have a couple of different ones, and if the Caran d'Ache doesn't work for these, I will use something else. However, I know that the Caran d'Ache does, so just from previous experience. I'm just going to bring that in. All right. So we're going to start from our light into our dark. Just going to make sure I get all that white spot out. You don't have to make sure that all the white spot is missing before you start your blender. The blender will eliminate that for you. However, you do have to make sure that you have enough pigment on the page for the blender to work with. So as you can see, it just blends them together very nicely. Now we're going to do the same thing with white. Now I will warn you with white, of course, if it is a pigmented white, so one that has a lot of, if it's a heavy white so that you can see the white, of course it is going to change the color of what you've put down to have a white tint to it. If it is a translucent white, you don't have to worry about that. Now the white in this set does have a little bit of opacity, so it's a little bit opaque so that you can see it on black, but it also has less color than, say, the Prisma white. So I'm going to use the white on it, and we'll see how bad it shades it down, or tints it down, whatever you want to call it. Basically, the red color is going to be the color that suffers the most. I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. I'm not sure who that is. I will call them back here. And it's on the other side of the room, of course, so I will call them back. People always calling me when I'm doing stuff. All right. Oh, no, we want the white. No, see? Now they've got my head all messed up. I almost did it with the blender. All right. So again, we're going to start with the white, or the lightest color with the white. And come through and blend them together. So as you can probably see, the color change. And they don't blend together as nicely with the white as they do with the Caran d'Ache. I think that using the white on these would probably make it look too light. Of course, that all depends upon what you're coloring and how you're coloring and that sort of thing. I personally wouldn't use the white just because I don't like the way that it dampens the colors as much as it does. All right, so there we have our blends and our tests. So definitely not water resistant or smudge resistant. They do blend together quite nicely, and they do blend together to create other colors. I would definitely use a blender on it. The great thing about using the Caran d'Ache blender on top of any colored pencils is it does give you a level of water resistance as well as smudge resistance. So one of the good things about the Caran d'Ache blender. All right, so we are on Art Matters because your imagination can change the world. This is a book done by Neil Gaiman. It is illustrated by Chris Riddell. We have been going through this book gradually over the past year and a half, and we are going to finish it. And I have been reading the pages as well as coloring the pictures. Now, this is not, and I repeat, not a coloring book. So the pages are paper as if they were book paper. So you will find that if you are going to color in the book, that the paper in the paperback book is a lot thinner than regular coloring book paper. I'm going to put my clamp on so that it's easier to control. Otherwise it goes all floppy floppy. All right, so the page we're coloring is this picture here, and the information or the thing above the page. It says the problems of success, they're real, and with luck you'll experience them. The point where you stop saying yes to everything because now the bottles you threw in the ocean are all coming back, and you have to learn to say no. So before, in the book, you were throwing bottles in the ocean, letting people know what you can do, asking people to trust you and allow you to work for them or with them. Well, now all those bottles are coming back, and people want you to work with them, which is fantastic. With success, there's over success. So when you start getting so overrun by those bottles, what Neil is saying is it's time to learn how to say no to some of those bottles instead of losing yourself and losing your abilities in the projects. All right, so we're going to start coloring these bottles, and we're going to, I think, yeah, we're going to start coloring them different colors a little bit because a lot of little bottles all blue is just going to be annoying. So we're going to color them all different colors. Why not, right? All right, so I'm going to start off with this one here as yellow. This is number 10. Now there's a piece of paper in the bottle, and this bottle goes behind this bottle, so we're just going to put a little bit of the color behind this bottle. All right, now we're going to take our red, and we're going to color this bottle, so we need to put a little bit of the yellow from this bottle here. And then we're going to color this bottle. And I'm doing it very, very lightly. And just in some of the areas, do I press a little bit harder to give that shadow, that thickness. Now this one goes behind this one, so we're just going to put in that red. and then it goes into the water. Like so. And then we're going to do the big one up front here in blue. Just trying to think, maybe I should do that one in back first. Let's do the one in back first. I'm going to do that in purple. Just because it's behind this bottle. So I want to get that purple color in there in the back. So see how it is back there. And then up here. Now we've got wave here. So we've got some water coming in as well. And we're going to go deeper. Deeper here. And in the thicker part of the bottle as well as the shadowed area. Again, lightening my hand, thinning it out. Like so. And then we've got to put in our blue. So this is our blue. Putting in our light hand. Darker in these areas here. Now this is water here. However, this part of the bottle is sticking up. So I'm not going to color all of that area because I'm going to add that watery green color to it. But I'm going to come up through here and down here. I am going to go through with it lightly. Now most of these bottles here are under the water, so I will go around them with a dark color. These ones that are above the water are the ones that I'm coloring in those different colors. Now I'm going to go, let's go with a yellow-green for this one. Now this is the thickest part of the bottle, so I'm going to press a little harder there. And then we'll press lighter. Hard through here, and then lighter. Like so. Because it's upside down. And then we're going to take our, I think this one. This one is more of an aquatic green. And we're going to just cover up to where the water is going to cover. Like so. And Same with this one here. It's just got the top. Like that. And then we're going to take, let's put this one a little bit of a brown. Yeah, those brown bottles. Yeah. Like so. And then we're going to take a little bit lighter and put some corks in these. And then we'll get to the water itself. Like so. I'm not sure what's going on with my email, but it's just going crazy. It's very strange. Very strange indeed. Same with down here. We're just going to put a little bit of that cork in there just so you can see them floating around under the water. Now we're going to take a little bit of black. Actually, let's just take a little bit of that blue-gray, green-gray, this kind of color. And we're going to just very gently put in that shadow of that bottle so that even through the watercolor we can still see it. Like so. Like that. And come down off this one as well. Coming down off this one as well. Cover those edges that are in the water. Alright, now we're going to grab this one here. And we're going to just fill in the water. Very lightly. Like so. Let's make sure I'm in screen. Of course. And I'm putting the waves up onto the bottles. and coloring over them just the same as I would if I was covering them individually. So if I was coloring these individually without covering them with the blue, I would color them the same way that I'm coloring the blue now. So I'm just blanket coloring over everything that is under the water. Like so. Now we're going to take a dark green blue and we're going to start adding that thicker, deeper watercolor here. Like so. So where that water is moving, it's going to show a little bit deeper movement line. Like so. And then up here, I'm going to put a little bit of this up here, but then we're going to do the sand color up there. All right, now we're going to take our white gel pen, maybe, if we get it to work. Actually, I'm going to just grab an acrylic pen. Maybe I'll grab my white acrylic pen. I know I have some. So this is a medium point. I'm just going to shake it up. And I'm going to look and see if I have a piece of paper somewhere for me to test it on. What's this? Yeah, that'll be fine. Good. So now I'm just going up. And just little dots, putting some water spray. In different areas. Felt like it wasn't working very well. like so. Now I'm using a thicker one just so I can get it done a little bit quicker. You can, of course, use a thinner pointed pen. And any acrylic pen will work. If you don't have a Posca pen, that's fine. Just grab a white acrylic pen. It will work just fine. All right, so there's our acrylics in there. Now I'm going to put the sand here. Oh, I missed this one. I am not sure which way he's sitting here. I have no idea what. Okay, so that looks like his knees, but and he's got his and then I'm not quite sure what he's going. I know those are his arms. That looks like a leg, and that looks like a leg. I don't know what these are. And with the way that they're crashing up on top of them, I would say that they're maybe a mountain or something. So I'm going to color them as a mountain or a rock. Just because I don't know what it is. And that's what I would assume it is a rock. Like so. That they're crashing up against. Alright, so he is very dark, so he's got a lot of the shadow over him. So I'm going to grab my black and the darkest, where did I put it? Where did I put it? Lost my, there it is. The darkest blue I can find. So I'm going to grab 57 and the black. And we're just going to shadow him all in here. Because I can't discern what's what. And it's just easier than trying to figure it out and being wrong. He's in that cloud of shadow. In the background. So we're going to color him metaphorically. We're going to cover him with doubt and exhaustion. Like so. All right. So again, it says the problems of success. They're real, and with luck, you'll experience them. The point where you stop saying yes to everything, because now the bottles you threw in the ocean are all coming back. And you have to learn to say no. And there we have our page for today from our Art Matters, because your imagination can change the world. This is a book written by Neil Gaiman, and illustrated by Chris Riddell. The pencils of the week are the Hundertwasser. This is an AM product from Germany. Um, Beautiful pencils, really, really, really nice pencils. If you can find them, they are called AM Hundertwasser. And, if you just type it into some Google searches or something, they were available on Amazon Germany, and that's where I got them, but they are currently unavailable. So keep an eye on them. Maybe they'll come back. If they do, I might be getting another set because using them for a week, they're going to start getting short. But of course, I do enjoy them. They are a very lovely set of pencils and a very nice arrangement and well balanced set of pencils for a 72 set. All right, guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And always, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.